studied business, worked in the city of London, and I actually let my Arabic slip quite a lot, to be honest. But more recently, when I moved into real estate and made some connections with the GCC, I had an idea to bring back this language and see how I can build relationships and connections with it. So honestly, this year I've spent a lot of time to learn all the Khaliji dialects.
Yeah.
I only knew Fusha and Lebanese before, actually, the dialect, because I lived there for a bit. But now Hijazi, Najdi.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, our dear viewers and listeners, and welcome to your show, Podcast So. My guest today is Mr. George Koli. He's an Arabic-speaking Brit building bridge with a GCC in real estate sector. He's also the managing director of Al Jisr Properties. Mr. George, welcome to Podcast So. Such an honor to have you with us, my friend. Appreciate it.
Asharaf li. Assalamu alaikum wa
Alaikum
rahmatullahi wa
assalam.
barakatuh.
MashaAllah, man, I can tell your Arabic is like,
Thank you.
It's fluent, you don't only speak Arabic, you got the accent too.
Thank you.
How
Thank
did
you.
that come all about?
Yeah, I'd say I'm about 80% of the way there, not yet fluent.
Okay.
But I studied my first degree, my bachelor's degree was in languages.
Okay.
So I did French and Arabic, but Fusha at that time.
Okay.
Yeah. And then studied business, worked in the city of London, and I actually let my Arabic slip quite a lot, to be honest. But more recently, when I moved into real estate and made some connections with the GCC, I had an idea to bring back this language and see how I can build relationships and connections with it. So honestly, this year I've spent a lot of time to learn all the Khaliji dialects.
Yeah.
I only knew Fusha and Lebanese before, actually, the dialect, because I lived there for a bit. But now Hijazi, Najdi, and some
MashaAllah.
Qatari and Kuwaiti as well.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
I mean, me and you were speaking via LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
And, I was like, he can text Arabic, he can even,
Yeah.
voice message me in Arabic. I was like, whoa, I mean, he's good,
Yeah.
and much respect, much respect to that for sure.
Thank you.
Does that help you in because your companies are just properties, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, right? And
Yeah.
I know it means a bridge between
Yeah.
the east and the west, and and language obviously is very critical and significant in communication, and getting into each other's, I would say, heart and also mindset and brain.
Exactly.
And strategy. Does that help?
I think it helps when you come with the right intentions. Like the reasons I learnt Arabic, I'd say I learnt them for the right reasons. I was an enthusiast about language and cultures. I love learning about other cultures and speaking their languages. So I think bringing that mindset into business rather than just kind of, using a language for an ulterior motive is what helps build trust and relationships. And obviously, I work in London. London has a long history with the GCC. So there's an opportunity there, but then there's also opportunities here in the GCC as well.
Absolutely.
That I'm exploring.
Absolutely. The great city of the UK and London specifically, a lot of Saudi tourists over there, huh?
Of course.
Yeah.
Especially in the summer.
Yeah.
When it gets a little hot over here.
Oh yeah. I know it's one of my favorite places to be. I love spending my summer there. Sometimes my winter. I'm not gonna lie, I don't mind wearing the nice feather coat and just walking around Herald Street or whatever. It feels good. It got that vibe.
Exactly.
Now you're a very interesting individual, to be honest, right? You studied linguistics, right? French, Arabic.
Yeah.
But you're a businessman
Yeah.
and real estate.
Yeah.
How did that mix come all together, and why GCC? I mean, you're in London, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The capital of business, capital of
Exactly.
real estate. You know, it's a lot of things are
Yeah.
happening.
So I was working in the corporate world for 3 years. I was working in like strategy consulting. So from a company spin-off from the Boston Consulting Group, similar kind of work to BCG and McKinsey, what they do. And I just reached a point where I wanted to do something different. I wanted to work for myself. I was doing some stuff in real estate on the side. And so I wanted to go full time.
Okay.
But the other thing was I started to feel like I had left my passion for languages behind,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So when I saw the opportunity to bring together my skills and passions, especially when I kind of somewhat fortuitously networked with a businessman from Qatar, and we worked together on something, and I just had a bit of a eureka moment that there's an opportunity for me to use my languages, my passion for intercultural collaboration, and to bring that into my business as something distinctive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I imagine living in London, right? You must mingle a lot with the, Arabic society, specifically, the Gulf, Saudis, Qataris,
Right.
Kuwait, as you mentioned. I want to know, when is the first time you heard about something called Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, and what was your thoughts on it?
Great question. To be honest, it's probably been in the last year, maybe about a year ago,
Okay.
only that I heard about it, a year or a year and a half ago
Okay.
or so. As I say, my journey in real estate and here in the GCC is a more recent and exciting one. When and what I'd say is that in the UK we hear all the time about Dubai, but that's one of the reasons this podcast I think is so important. We don't have that feed of information on Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Which is wrong in a way, because there's so much going on in Saudi Arabia. I mean, when you get here, the scale of the projects, the vision, the way the country is moving, is incredible.
True.
So it's been a pleasure over the past year or so learning more about the vision, especially in real estate, all the giga projects, but also the vision of the country as a whole, the pillars of the vision.
When did you come first to Saudi Arabia? I know you probably, over the past years, you probably came to the GCC. But when was the first time that you came to the kingdom?
Exactly. So it's this year.
Okay.
It's this year. This year I've come twice, in total for a month.
Okay.
Because over summer, this year in the summer, I networked with a lot of people from the kingdom and the GCC as a whole. As you know, Saudis are very welcoming, and lots of the people I met said, come to Saudi, and the same for other GCC countries as well.
Absolutely. We the Gulf Cooperation Council. It's definitely there's from a small history, I would say also stories that there's a lot of similarity in culture in the Gulf states.
Yeah.
But the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, obviously led by it's the individual who created Vision 2030 and is definitely responsible for and who believes in it, went on hard, right?
Exactly.
Giga projects, Red Sea Development Company, the line. You guys could probably hear about it, and I see it, and I'm like, okay, we laugh about it when they mock, a line. How can they make these projects? They're not even called mega; they're called giga projects.
Yeah.
You got Adriya, which is now turning into a reality. Who would have thought Expo 2030 would come to the kingdom? World Cup 2034, diversifying the economy. Saudi Arabia has always been known for of a country that's been rich, but it's always been very much dependent on oil, right? Which is 90% of it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have the accurate number, but it's a lot less. It's around 54% or 58% non-oil revenue this year round, which is a lot of it is investing in these giga projects in the future, right?
Yeah.
You know that over here, the generation, a lot of it is youth under the age of 40. I'm out, so, but, you got the rest of the guys. When you hear all of this, right, and when you see all these giga projects, and when you see all these concerts, when you see all these big athletes, when you see Ronaldo here, right?
Yeah.
When you see Neymar coming here, when you see, a lot of, people also from, the UK, whether there was artists or investors or sports athletes or even, big, consultation companies, coming over here. They didn't come here, obviously, unless they believed in what can be done. What do you say about that? What was your thought? You were like, oh, I know Qatar, Dubai, have been way back on it, and they've been doing it. Of course, they're a lot less smaller. The amount of investment in there is, compared to the kingdom is a lot smaller. But, what came into your mind when you saw all of that, and you saw the leaders, right? You see the Minister of Economy speaks well educated, good English, Misa, energy, all of you're seeing a generation that can represent themselves on a very high stage with a very empowerful, I would say, and respectful level, right? They're not only being respected for their money, but for what they can offer when it comes to vision and etc. And we were very honest about our reforms, about our challenges. We're working on it. A lot of things have been fixed, and we clearly said we're working more and more to make it as there's no way, no place on earth is perfect, but we're trying as much as possible.
Yeah, I think my key message is Saudi Arabia is somewhere you have to come and see in person for yourself. I think especially the West doesn't have the clearest idea of what is Saudi Arabia, what's happening here, the pace at which everything is moving. There's maybe some misconceptions as well,
obviously,
in the West. So my message is, come here in person, see for yourself, just like Ronaldo and those people you mentioned. And most people, I think, will come here, taking more away from the ambition and the vision than anything else. And it's the same with business, right? It's not somewhere, especially as I've learned, you can't just fly into Saudi Arabia and cram meetings in and try and get a deal straight away. You have to invest your time, your money, respect the culture. If you speak the language, I find it's a bonus. But it's somewhere to do things in person before you make your mind up or before you try and do business, in my opinion.
Can I ask why real estate? Or maybe you want to diversify your portfolio, or you just want to begin with real estate?
Look, my motivations for real estate in London is that it's something I'd already been investing in while I was in my corporate job. I think it's a safe investment. I think in Arabic it is said, علاقة يمرض بس لا يموت.
They call it Ibn al-Bar.
Ibn al-Bar.
Ibn al-Bar.
علاقة Ibn al-Bar.
Yep.
Yes.
That means,
You can see it and you can feel it, and it will always, in the long term.
Yep.
So I like it. I like to, I think it's good to be focused for now on one sector, and it makes sense in Saudi. I think it's one of the you know, among other sectors that are part of the vision. But real estate is huge. I mean, you mentioned Riyadh. You go there, you see all the cranes.
You've been there?
Yeah, I went there.
Okay, that's awesome.
I've never seen
Okay.
something like that with all the cranes. You feel, because I was in Jeddah as well before Riyadh. I loved Jeddah.
You been to any festivals like the Red Sea Festival? But
I didn't. No, I didn't go to the Red Sea Festival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I love Jeddah. I love the atmosphere there in its own way. It's very, very peaceful, very friendly, very beautiful. But then as soon as I came to Riyadh, the energy, the construction,
London, right? Like you got the business vibe.
Yeah. So I think real estate is what makes most sense for me now. But we'll see. I think my main passion, if I'm doing business here or relocating here, is to be using my advantage with the two languages and seeing how that can add value within a sector, essentially.
I think it will. I think without a doubt it will, especially with, you know, I'm sure you know you've got to learn more about the Saudi culture.
Exactly.
The people, right? You commend them in one thing. You're like, nice though, they're like, and if you speak the language, under the culture, they try as much as possible to repay you. But as you said, business is business, and that's how it should be. Do you have a long-term plan in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, I think the long-term plan, as I say, I've been here for a month, and I've been swayed that.
And you already have a Saudi partner, right?
Have a Saudi partner.
Okay.
Yeah, have a Saudi partner. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself because we're just at that kind of inflection point. But we're thinking that our skills complement each other nicely, and that the opportunity is more here than in London at the moment. For example, I still have projects in London, and I can, it's much better if I have investors here, to be here as well.
Absolutely.
And for projects here, it's much better to be here.
Absolutely.
As well.
A place where it's evolving, right? Like
exactly.
Where there's a future. There's a lot of construction, a lot of things being built. Yeah.
And the timing is perfect with Vision 2030, the changing of the foreign ownership regulations in January. So there's a lot going on in real estate, and hopefully with my languages and skills, I can add value to the market, to the sector, and to the vision.
Al-Jisr, like you could really be a bridge,
exactly.
know, because there's a lot of misconceptions, right, about Saudi Arabia goes on into it, what are they doing, what. If I may ask, and please,
Sure.
Whatever you want to say, I mean, go for it. What are the misconceptions that, because to be honest, until a year and a half and Vision 2030 is you've been only hearing about it. This is probably something that should have been, noticed way before that, right?
Yeah.
Because we've been doing it since 2016.
Yeah.
But I want to know what's the misconceptions when it comes into security, people, culture, lifestyle, everything.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Well, I'll say a few things.
Yeah.
The security thing's very ironic, obviously, because it's so safe here. I think, honestly, people don't know anything about Saudi Arabia. So just their instant thought is that that's a very conservative, traditional place where, I'm not going to have the same freedoms that I have. But I don't think people actually would be able to articulate too much what they're exactly afraid of. I just think it's, everyone in Britain knows exactly what Dubai is. Everyone talks about Dubai. They know what it is. I'd say, honestly, yes, there's probably a misinformation problem in terms of people thinking Saudi Arabia is more traditional and less open than it is, but it's also just a lack of information problem. Like, as I say, even like Vision 2030, it's not as known as it should be.
Yeah.
in UK from my experience.
Yeah, yeah. Especially, since, you mentioned like the relationship between the two countries has been very strategic.
Yeah,
This ways goes way back
yeah,
between the two royal families as well. It's very strong
sure.
in that aspect as well. So, we come to Saudi, we got we got a visa waiver now, right?
Yeah,
One day, bam,
right.
I'm chilling in London, right?
Yeah,
So that's a good thing going on.
yeah.
Does also the process of getting access, making it easier to come to Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, if you want to come, how long does it take you? I would
Um,
love to get your experience, like your first time landing here, from getting the visa, landing in the airport. How was it? landed to Jeddah
I
first or
landed in
Riyadh?
Jeddah. I
In
landed
Jeddah.
in
Oh,
Jeddah. Okay, so
okay.
I'll tell you about the experience. Getting the visa online was actually quite simple.
Okay.
To be honest, it
Uh-huh.
was a quick process. Just had to upload a few things. Um, the flight to Jeddah was a funny one because I was the only person on the plane not there for Umrah. So
Okay.
I got quite a big questioning on the UK side, but on
Was it Saudi Airlines or was it?
I can't remember which airline it was, to be
Oh,
honest, but
okay. Yeah,
on the Saudi side, no problems, and then it was quick. It was actually an efficient process,
yeah. Uh-huh.
to be
Uh-huh.
honest. Very streamlined.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Since you went to Jeddah, went to Riyadh, like
yeah,
you saw two different, I would say, no, I'm not gonna say culture, but two different parts of the
yeah.
kingdom. What did you like, different distinguish
Yeah.
between the both?
Yeah, as I say, Jeddah's more, I'd say, relaxed, slow, very welcoming in Jeddah, as well. Obviously, you have a different history in Jeddah. Like, I went to the south, saw the beautiful architecture there that's being preserved, and you have the mix of people from the whole history of people coming for Hajj there. And it's a very different place.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's seaside.
Mecca's where
Yeah.
the actually. You got Al Ula, by the way.
Yeah.
You gotta go to Al Ula.
I will.
I don't know
Inshallah.
if you're a fan of opera and
Okay.
and there's like one of
Yeah.
these Pacello. If I'm not sure if I got his name right. Pacello.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Jamie or no.
I got that one.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
There's a guy, I think Pacello is like a famous Italian. He's blind, but
Wow, okay.
I listened to him once, and he was like so, really majestic. I think, not Beyonce, I can't recall her name, but she was here too as well. She performed. And Al Ula, by the way, it's kind of way like the rocky,
Yeah.
a lot of rocks. And
Yeah.
it's a cool place to be in, especially
Yeah.
especially in the winter. I think you might enjoy it. And there's a lot of activities, and events going on also
Yeah.
over there. But focusing on the business side, Riyadh is the place to be. CAFT is about to be improved.
Yeah.
Even now, the transformation, the transportation. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now there's trains that can directly to CAFT. They're opening up. They're trying.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay. There's some want alcohol, some want that. They're doing some rules which do not, let's say, I would affect the religious aspects, the
Yeah.
culture aspect, the heritage aspects, and most importantly, the people of the kingdom
Of course.
aspect. But life here is very it's been rapidly developing, right?
Yeah.
A lot of us, even Saudis, can't keep up with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it comes into what's going on, right? There's change of
Yeah.
education. Now they're trying to be the best in AI, green energy, even real estate. You got Cityscape Global. We're holding Cityscape Global. There was an event called Beyond Nonprofit for nonprofit organizations, right? Where others. So opportunities are very, I would say, all over the place, and you can tell we're a very pride nation, right?
Of course.
Just like the UK's, we got the. I think I got a lot of friends from the UK. They have that same, what we're, hey, I'm from the UK, and I respect that, to be honest. I don't. I truly respect that. So there's a lot of advance rapidly, and now you're expecting Expo 2030, right? Real estate, without a doubt, is there. Construction is like crazy around here.
Yeah.
You can't walk 2 steps until you find something's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What
does that tell you? Especially as a person who's an expert.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know about expert.
Yeah.
I'm still young, but yeah, it's one of the big appeals, right? And people I speak to as well who've been coming here a lot, like every 2 months, 3 months, say I come here and something's new and something's new that's been built and something new is being built. And it's a signal. It's a signal that a lot's going on, but obviously you need to look at the data as well.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that real estate in Riyadh makes sense to me is I get the sense that it's of course it's the capital, right? It's the pride of the country. So even if headwinds hit down the line, global oil prices or anything like that, I still feel like nothing will stop the goals and the ambitions in Riyadh. So for those reasons,
What do you see in the people?
in the people in Riyadh,
The people of the kingdom, the people in Riyadh, you meet the youth. You meet a guy like Khalid for 40 years. I know I look 20 and I act 10, but I'm actually 40.
MashaAllah,
I'm actually 40 years old.
Shaklak Shabab.
We're trying to make, there's a lot of goals and ambition of making this the land of opportunities, right?
Yeah.
I met with many different kind of, people, who came from overseas and accomplished some of the dreams here, whether it was, some of them was in art, believe it or not, in art and music and others, and such a young generation who's got a young leader.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Well, that's great. As I've heard many times from Saudis, is you have the young leader and then the older wisdom as well that makes for the great combination at the top.
Yeah.
In terms of my experience with Saudis, as you asked, it's been very positive, right? What I like, and obviously I'm very privileged because I speak the language.
Yeah.
Anytime I get a taxi, I go into the front seat and we speak in the dialect.
Yeah.
So I get to learn really quite closely and intimately. The Saudi people. Yeah. And the main thing I've taken away is that they're extremely respectful, welcoming, polite, respectful to me. I've had a great experience. But also, it's that it's like respect is 2 ways, right?
Yeah.
So it's like this is our our culture, our religion, our society, and if you respect that, you come there, speak the language, or invest the time, then that respect is 2 ways, and that's how it
absolutely.
That's how it should be. So very proud, as you said, patriotic, proud. I mean, I remember I wasn't quite here on National Saudi Day, but you could see the videos. We can be patriotic in UK. It's not quite as much as that anymore. But yeah, very proud, patriotic, and then extremely hospitable because you've shown in the respect. You respect the laws of the land and the people. So now we will welcome you and be very hospitable.
That's how it should be. Absolutely.
And that's how it should be, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I concur. There's a question. I want to ask about your community.
Yeah.
Your community here in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Are very diverse community. Are you like mostly with a lot of people from UK, from Europe, from US, Saudi. Like how's your community like?
Yeah, great question. So I try and stay away as far away from expats as possible, because I'm still not fluent in Hijazi or Najdi. As I say, I'm more like 80%, 85%. So part of that is, I'm trying to make sure that I get to fluent, but it's also more, that's the reason for me coming here is because of that passion for intercultural collaboration, learning about another culture, speaking another language. So I'm just someone who I enjoy that experience of going to another country. And I still I love Britain, I love my language, my culture, my home and everything. But I like going to another culture, another country, and really immersing myself and being in the area where there's the fewest expats. So I've been very alongside Saudis in my experience so far.
Absolutely, and I'm sure with time and time you will learn more, understand more.
Exactly.
Also about what's going on here. I mean, George, you're a young man. Are you settled? Are you married? Do you have family or?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm 26.
It's 26. Yeah.
Yeah. So families
26 for 2025 is way too young to get settled. Yeah. In some aspects.
But family's my number one. It's inshallah on the horizon soon. Very soon.
Yeah. How would you I know it's probably too late. Maybe it's too late for you or too early. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For you to answer that question. But would you imagine yourself settling down here?
Yeah.
For a while.
I can see it. I can see it for sure. And I'm considering it. As I say, with my business partner, to still have a base in the UK, and to still I still have good business relationships there. But I think, as we say, I'm young. I have freedom. I have a great time here. It makes a lot of sense because I enjoy speaking the language, the culture, and
26, my man. When I was your age, I think I was somewhere in Santa Monica. Doing something else. You're like way, and I commend you on that, and continue on that some path, and I'm sure very soon, you reach your goals. So what's like your goals, like your personal goals that say, you know what, I made it?
Big question, that.
Big
question.
Right? Because a lot of people say, look, I mean, I think Anthony Joshua was here before even the Francis Ngannou one. Me and him, we had to sit down, we talked.
Oh, mashallah.
Yeah. Awesome, big guy. Awesome, great guy, by the way, very humble guy. Me and him, we had a conversation. He's very cool about it, and he's talking to me about, his personal ambition, different than Tyson. Tyson Fury was a different character. He's a different character, But I want to know, in your perspective, right? You're a young man, with a lot of ambition. Has been definitely, all over the place, or already speaks 3 languages, mashallah, maybe even more. I don't know. What do you have in mind? Is it a financial? Is financial, up there? Is family up there? Is a good place to settle down? Peace mentally. What is it?
Yeah, I'll say 3 things. So for me, family first always. I'd like to build a large family and have lots of time for them, and that would be my number 1 goal for sure. Then the 2 other things on the work side, and everything feeds into each other.
Of course.
But the first thing to say is that I was in the corporate world and I went into something entrepreneurial. So my ambition is to kind of see what I can achieve with my own company, or or in a business partnership. But it's that in the corporate world you have this kind of ceiling, even though it can be well paid. But in entrepreneurship, you kind of really see, okay, what is it that I can do, and see what your potential is, right? So my ambition, I guess, is to see my potential. And then the final thing, is it's what I've already been doing, but to most effectively bring together my skills and passions. So I told you I had a passion for languages, for intercultural cooperation. And the reason I have such a, I'm so happy at the moment is because I feel like I'm really finding a good way to bring that into to my professional life. And that's what this move here would be all about. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting, George. Like, life sometimes, we all have, we can all have dreams and have goals and have paths and have lines and, sometimes life takes us left, right, and then,
Yeah.
eventually, we get what we want as long as, deep inside here, we're clean and, and God obviously, is there's a higher power that always guides us to where we should be. Now I gotta ask you about something that's very interesting in a way. Is your lifestyle effect? Did your lifestyle get affected living here staying here in the kingdom for a while?
Not
Dubai is very diverse. Like Dubai,
Yeah.
you rarely find locals, right? In Dubai,
Yeah.
right? You go to Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi, in Dubai,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, did your lifestyle get affected anyway? Possible?
Not really, because I'm quite focused on business. I
Yeah.
don't like
Like
in the
gym in the morning, exercise,
Yeah.
whatever, food, whatever. All these things are normal, right?
yeah.
Staying up late, time wise, yeah.
That's the thing I had to adjust to. Yeah. I'm an early bird. I like to go to bed
Okay.
at like 9, 10 p.m. and get up
Okay.
early. Sometimes you have to be a bit more flexible here. So I'd say, look, on the kind of the lifestyle stuff, I don't really drink alcohol in the UK or anything like that. So all that stuff
Very
is
good. Likewise.
no problem at all here. Suits me well. As I say, more focused on
Tea or
business
coffee?
and family. I'm a tea person.
Absolutely tea, right? Absolutely tea.
English breakfast.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Gets you very energized.
Yeah.
Without a doubt in the morning. What do you think is missing?
In Saudi Arabia.
Yep. What do you think is missing? Why do you think a lot of because there's a lot of people who should know more about the vision,
Yeah.
specifically that there's a lot of Saudis. I would say also engagements
Yeah.
in the UK, whether it was through sports and others, etc. What do you think is missing?
It's just finding a way to make that tasweek and that marketing really hit the general public. It just
What more than to bring Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury over?
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No. It makes sense. I think the thing is, look, UK people, they for example, people in the West, they've watched boxing matches in
They
Riyadh,
love them.
in Riyadh or
And Conor McGregor, even. I know he's, but also Conor McGregor is
Yeah.
there once in a while.
exactly. They understand that like that they know about the football and the sport there. There's actually quite a lot of awareness around that. But in terms of like what life is like, for example, on LinkedIn, you have so many people who have come from the West, live in Dubai, and they're promoting it and they talk
Yeah.
about the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And there's just not quite as many people doing that in Saudi. Maybe I'll be
Not-
one of them, inshallah.
Not yet, due to a lot of
Yeah.
heritage issues.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about invest in Saudi
Yeah.
or Ministry of Investment.
Okay.
As a foreign investor yourself here in
Yeah.
the kingdom, what are the challenges? What are the optimistic things? What do you? How do you see this going on with you? Specifically in this new rule in real
Yeah.
estate, which
Yeah.
which a lot of people are now trying
Yeah.
to jump on it.
Exactly. And look, I'm still a student of this subject, but while I'm here, I'm trying to learn just every day more and more. As I say, Saudi Arabia is a place where you do things in person. So rather than just reading the news, I like to be talking to as many people, developers or investors, people behind the scenes about
Yeah.
okay, what's the opportunity, right? And the consensus at the moment is obviously that there's loads of opportunities. You have to be careful and to pick the right one. And also, your investments are very mashallah, very secured. The system, there's a lot of like developers who can only take money based on construction milestones rather than time. So in terms of that investment security, it's very strong. But look, I think there's a lot of tailwinds in like the holy cities, for example, expanding the Hajj, etc. I'm not an expert. I've never visited.
You should have attended cities. I would have invited you to come to cities.
I know.
Cityscape Global and also tourists. Tourists you would have liked.
I know.
Because it was a lot about real estate and about also tourism, you know, real estate. It would have been good, you know. I mean, I emceed and I moderated a couple of sessions there with a couple of where there was foreign investors and locals, and you know, there was some good things. But next year, man, you know, now you know me, you know, whenever you want to come
Next time,
anywhere, let me know. And you're already, you know, on the list, obviously.
Thank you.
Right now, for sure. You know, and I'm sure, you know, to be honest, sometimes you can feel when a person has this energy, positive energy. I'm sure you'll do good, you know, whether it was in Saudi Arabia or even others, but hopefully in the kingdom. You know, I gotta be biased about my
of course,
about my country. You know, I wish you do good here.
Yeah.
You know, and definitely, you know, achieve all your dreams through our dreams. You know.
Yeah.
Why not? You know, I kind of like that word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and basically that's what we want. We want to make it a friendly country where, you know, where everyone can just come, you know, and do what they want as long as, you know, they are on the right path and they're willing to, you know, support the cause and, you know, and now you got also the U.S. I'm sorry, the Saudi UK business chamber. You know, I'm sorry. You're probably now part of it too as well, obviously, since, you know, after becoming an investor here. If not, you give me a call, you know, be make sure they're happy. By the way, we got Neil, His Excellency Ambassador Neil. He's the former ambassador of the UK to the kingdom. He spoke good Arabic too. And me and him had a lot of great, nice sit-downs too as well. You know, I got a couple of chances to visit the UK, UK embassy, great people as well. So, you know, we get invited there a lot, you know. Now, before I conclude, coming to the ministry, or to the authority, I would say, the authority of entertainment and television and radio. Right now, by the way, we're moving to a totally different location.
Okay.
Especially now, you know, with the new sponsor. This man is coming, thanks to you guys. 20-30% upgrade, not bad, huh? You know, that's probably a new car. No, I like to joke around with my team. You know, I like to tease him like I'm the one doing all this, and it's not me. It's thank God we had a great government that support us. You know, what was the experience here like? You know, coming, sitting down, visiting, you know, mingling with them, you know, checking out what's going on. How was it like?
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
MashaAllah, beautiful studio.
Yeah. Yeah. Not the best yet. By the way, we can do a lot, and we are doing a lot better. I mean, I'll invite you to see the new one. But did we beat the Jeddah one or no?
Will it beat the Jeddah one?
Did we beat the Jeddah? Because I know you were.
Yeah, I did a podcast in Jeddah.
Yeah.
In all in Arabic.
Yeah. In Arabic.
All in Arabic.
Really?
Yeah. I'll send you.
With who? With what?
So this was more of like this was me and my partner.
Okay.
We're thinking.
Please send it to me.
I will.
Please send it to me. And if if you guys are here for a while, you know, come to, you know.
Sure.
Let's hang out, you know, on the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, we would love to go to Diriyah, you know, just, you know, hang out, maybe, you know, introduce you guys, you know, attend a couple of things, you know, and just get to meet. It's always nice.
Pleasure. That would be a pleasure.
So it was nice.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time so much, George. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for accepting
الشرف لي والله.
my invitation. الشرف لي أنا. الله يسلمك.
بالعكس.
And inshallah, God's willing, you know, I'll see you, you know, achieve what you want and even more, you know. Or why not even one day, you know, maybe within the next few years, I'll see you come with the little George, you know, maybe, you know. We'll say hi, you know.
Inshallah.
God's willing.
Fikra.
God's willing, inshallah. Thank you so much, George. George,
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Before I conclude, I always leave the last word to my guest.
Just like to say that it was an absolute pleasure to be here. As you say, inshallah, I will do some good things here. And, you know, my company is Al Jisr. So it's all about
Al Jisr.
Al Jisr.
Al Jisr Properties.
So
make sure to look it up, guys, you know.
Thanks.
By the way, it's a bridge if no one,
Yeah.
if people don't know what that means.
So, as I say, it's
Yeah.
all about, for me, it's all about two-way bridges,
Yeah.
right? So if I'm getting something, I'm adding something.
Yeah.
If we're giving something to one region, it's coming back. That's the
So if I'm planning
the
even
idea.
to buy something in the UK, I should give, you know, why not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Of
And, you know,
course.
I'm sure you made the right choice. Thank you so much again, George.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure, my friend. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Dear viewers, thank you, dear viewers, and also dear listeners. Thank you so much for watching. We wish you always a great, pleasant, good day. Stay positive, stay successful, hope for the best. Prepare not to be negative, but always prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. Abu Shannan, you want to say something? Just peace. Okay. I know you got a game to watch, or I'll let you go take care of it. Assalamu alaikum.